We are live.
We are live
We are live.
and dropping frames for some reason.
We are not playing video games today, so it's probably a good thing. Or it would have been worse if you were dropping frames while we were playing video games.
True.
Sure.
If
True.
we're flopping dreams, okay.
Flopping dreams out
yep.
here.
English.
That's what we do.
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
English as a first and second language.
Right. Anyways, yeah. Hey, we're here. We're talking about stuff because there's been a lot of stuff going on, aka the Game Awards. But before we get to that, boys, what have you been playing?
Lethal Company, baby.
Yeah.
That game is fun as fuck.
Shane and
me, Shane, Dakota, Ash, Dalton.
Damn, all y'all got
There's someone else. Matt. Peaches.
Peaches. Oh. Yeah, I don't know,
Shout
Matt.
out to any Blue-Eyed Samurai fans out there.
You don't.
I don't. Right. I think was Matt Peaches. That's the way you said that.
Matt who?
I don't know. You
Peaches?
just said Matt.
You said Matt Peaches.
Peaches is Matt. Matt is Peaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know Matt?
Okay.
We've been in that Discord and played games with Matt before, but we don't.
Right. I didn't know him by his first name.
Yep.
That's what I was trying to get at. I just like Peaches.
Lethal Company is fun as fuck, guys. Go buy it right now.
Let's see.
Don't give me that noise.
He's like,
go watch my video that I posted and then go buy it.
I've seen so many clips about it. I really have. Wow, it has 138,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Yep.
Hey, something came out recently that was well reviewed.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, didn't you say it was like Deep Rock Galactic and something else had a baby?
Yeah, it's kind of like Deep Rock Galactic because it's like a co-op game where you're all like on the job and there's kind of procedurally generated levels you go into. Right. But there's a bunch of scary shit that will try to kill you. So
yeah, I've seen the giant spiders and things.
Yeah, there's spiders, there's jumps that you can fuck up, just getting lost, rivers.
I've done as commanded.
My man. It's got a mod that lets you play with more than 4 people, so that's pretty good.
That's why you have that many people playing all together?
We had 6 on our first venture. And I feel like more than that probably gets weird, but 6 felt good.
Oh, did it? Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, yeah. I've seen a lot of random ass videos about it recently, and I just people having a good old time.
My favorite video I've seen, other than your landmine one, is the ladder bonk.
Yes, from Donkey. I saw it on Donkey's video.
I don't know if it was Donkey's. I didn't see it on.
I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people.
It was like it's a group of guys, and it's like, have we shown you our most powerful weapon? And the guy goes, what? And they put like this ladder straight up in the air, and he goes, oh, a ladder. Okay, he turns around and starts walking, and it falls over, and it makes this bonk noise when it hits him on the head, and he just instantly dies. I'm like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, the game's full of stuff like that.
I didn't know it had the bonk noise because this was the first time I saw this, and I like died. I died when it.
I don't blame
you. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good noises in that game, dude.
800 megabytes. It's already installed. That was fast.
Yeah, it's tiny.
I mean, look, they found fun, put it in a bottle, and shipped it basically, and. I mean, I'm happy that a lot of people are enjoying it.
Yep, nice. It's $10, small investment, small file size, fun stuff, fun party game.
What have you been playing, Timmy?
Oh, I was gonna say I forgot what I was gonna say. It wasn't about that, but okay. I haven't been playing anything new really. Like I got Rogue Trader on launch day. Haven't actually been able to sit down and play it at all, which sucks.
No.
But like Logan and I were playing Spore the other day for a good long while. That was a lot of fun. And today, like, is other than being sick or working, I haven't really been doing much lately. So today was like one of the first days where I've been able to like sit down and play a game for a while. But Sarah was working at the desk, so I was playing games on the Xbox 360. So I was playing like XCOM Enemy Unknown for the most part today. Or no, sorry, Enemy Within. So the expansions are all in there. And then tonight, we put in OG Skyrim, and because my original disc got like lasered at some point, so Sarah got me a copy of Legendary Edition for the Xbox 360 because I own it on everything else, and she saw it at half. I asked her like for a list of some Xbox 360 games so I could kind of finish out my collection of what I want to have.
Yep.
So she got me Legendary Edition, and popped that in. Played through the tutorial with Arya snuggled up. She fell asleep snuggling me, watching me play Skyrim, and then Sarah took her upstairs. Logan came downstairs, and I just had gotten out of Helgen, and I handed him the controller. And Justin, you know the thing that everybody does the first time they play Skyrim, and like Todd Howard kind of joked about it a million times before. Like you see the mountain with the temple on it, and you go, "I want to go there."
Right.
Logan immediately goes, "Oh, I want to go up there. That's cool." And like
That's
naturally,
game design right there.
yeah. And I was like, what else is he gonna do? He went to the Guardian Stones. He found his way up to like the little half tower up the mountain. He had me fight the bandits because he didn't want to do combat. But then he had me give him back the controller so he could explore more. He found his own way to Riverwood. He killed a chicken and got the guards called on him. He did all the things that you do the first time you play Skyrim.
He kills a chicken.
It was pretty great. So he was like, "Why do the chickens get you in trouble? Why does killing a chicken make people mad? I don't understand." I'm like, buddy, it could be someone's pet. He goes, "Yeah, but like it's just wandering around the town. This is not a good way to take care of your pet." I'm like, "It could be somebody's farm animal." He goes, "Okay, then they can cook the chicken." I don't understand what the problem is.
It's a win-win.
He's like, "I just did the work
That's
for you.
funny.
I already killed it."
I don't understand what the problem is here. I'm like, okay. And then he started picking. There's this one house where there's like a bunch of like leaks and like other stuff behind. And he starts picking somebody's plants. He goes, "Why does the chicken get me in trouble, but this doesn't?"
That's a fair question. That's a good point.
He's too smart for 8 years old. But yeah, I have literally just been playing really fucking old games, despite the fact that Sarah got me Jedi Survivor for my birthday. Haven't played that yet. I bought myself Rogue Trader last week. Haven't bought that yet. Or haven't played that yet. Yeah.
So
it's like,
I do have good news about Rogue Trader. I
Mhm.
watched Splattercat. He did a breakdown, like a 45-minute breakdown, and he said it's Dark Heresy, but on the computer, basically.
Oh yeah.
It's just as brutal as Dark Heresy, though. So
That's exciting.
And he was just playing on like the normal difficulty, and it's just like you will fucking die if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Like,
Yeah,
so if you
it's
don't
by
know
the
what you're
people
doing,
who made the Pathfinder RPG games, and those were very highly regarded for being difficult.
To me, like I've watched some reviews, and I've only watched like chunks to avoid any spoilers.
Yeah.
And my biggest takeaway, no one said this expressly, but my biggest takeaway is if Mechanicus was XCOM 40K, which it kind of was in a lot of ways, this is more like Wasteland 3 40K in the way that the combat works. And I haven't gotten to that point. I literally have only made my character and gotten my custom portraits that I used an AI to generate into the game.
Nice.
I'll put them in the chat later, by the way. They look dope as hell. But that was the vibe I was getting, and I'm very excited to actually sink my teeth into it. I need to put it on my Steam Deck if I want to play it, though, because I have it installed on the main PC, and I'm never sitting down playing games here.
Right.
But Sarah also got me this nifty new like clamp-on controller for my phone.
Nice.
That is much more
comfortable.
It's way better than my Razer Kishi, and I like it more than my Jungle Cat right now because I can charge it and plug in a 3.5mm headphone jack. The only thing is I need a new phone case because my phone case doesn't, the USB won't go in right now because it's the one for the Jungle Cat. But like this thing's sick and might allow me to get a little more into it because it looks like it is supported, controller supported. So I'm excited there.
Nice. Very nice.
So what have I been playing? Old games, and other than that, nothing.
Yeah.
How about you, Cody?
I jumped back into Medieval Dynasty.
Ooh,
by
yeah.
my lonesome. Because I think I'm the only person who owns that game. It's on Game Pass, but
I
I,
own
I
it.
was
I've
playing.
never played it.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. It's a very relaxing time. You know, there are bandits. Um, they're not very hard. Like there's like very little combat in that game, which it's not a game that really needs combat. But yeah, I just turn that on and um, just trying to figure shit out. Like right now, I'm trying to figure out how to make leather. Like I have
Mm,
fur. Like is there a drying or like a drying rack? Like you know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to like figure out like what the process is. So
yeah, the
um
discovery phase.
yeah. Well, I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of that because it's just very like there's a lot of systems and stuff. And yeah, but I mean there's a story to it and whatnot. But yeah, it's just a cool little it's just a cool little thing to just chill out like and play really.
Mm.
Other than that, I uploaded or downloaded Path of Exile again. Dicked around with
Yeah,
that a
they
little
just have a
bit.
big update.
Yeah, they just had a new season update. It's called Affliction. I watched Asmongold play a little bit of it, and I was like, "Oh, that looks fun." And then like I got in and immediately got wrecked, and I was like, "Nah, maybe
Path
not
of
that, but
Exile,
as much
Path of
fun."
Exile is brutal. Like
Well, you
I,
have to
I
if you play a season character, you got to play on Ruthless, which I'm not familiar
Mm,
with.
yeah,
Not
no,
standard.
like I said, it's brutal. Like
Yeah.
the thing about Path of Exile versus Diablo, like aesthetically, it's always kind of nailed what Diablo 2 did. Path of
Yeah.
Exile did that better than D3 by a mile. D3 was great for its own reasons, but what Path also did is I always thought until you got to super late game, Diablo 3 felt just like a cakewalk. Path of Exile, even playing just the story the first time through, it is not a fucking easy game. It is, it does not,
When I played on the
not nice.
standard, I didn't have really any issues. Like I would die every once in a blue moon. This is like I just went through the town, like the starting town for the first time and went and I encountered a boss and immediately got or like one of those like mini bosses or whatever. Immediately got fucking wrecked. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So,
And I
I don't
still
know.
can't get back into it because like my main character that I played in that, I think I've told this story before. I didn't play
Yeah.
it for like a year. I came back, they nuked everything. They redid the skill tree, and
oh
I
yeah.
I didn't use a build guide. I did my own build on stream. I don't remember anything I picked, and I'm sitting there going, no, I don't. I can't. I quit and I
Didn't they
started a
refund all
new
your
character on the
points?
Xbox. They refunded all my points, but I don't remember what my build was.
But if you
And
did
my
it on
my gear,
stream,
my brother, I don't have VODs of that shit. I did that back in 2014. It
well, I mean,
was like
honestly, at this
2014,
point,
2015.
whatever build you did 10 years ago wouldn't be
It was a
viable now
DOT.
anyway.
It was
Wouldn't
a DOT build, so I did damage over time. I was
right?
like an assassin character, but I did what was the purple decay stuff? I forget what
I don't
what
know.
that was called. Anyway,
I don't know.
that was my whole build.
Oh. And then outside of that, I opened my first box of Japanese Pokemon cards, and I pulled
Bro,
a $450 fucking chase card. Um,
incredible.
dude, I looked at it, I was like, is this what I think it? Like, I had to go look it up because like
Yeah.
I was looking for the new Charizard, right? They have this like
Hmm.
black Charizard and the that's terrestrialized or whatever, and they also have this really cool blue Mew, right? Because it's
Ooh, the
shiny.
shiny.
Yeah, it's shiny treasure is the name of the set or whatever, and but it's like a full art, like really cool, like looking card, and those were the two main cards I was hoping for, and then like I'm going through it and then I stopped and I looked and I was like, is this what I fucking think it is?
It's one of those
It,
things, right? Where you look at it and you're like, this couldn't be what I think it is.
right.
This is too
Because,
rare.
right. Like, cause there's so many, in every, like, I don't know about like magic and stuff like that, but in Pokemon, you have like your super rare versions of it. And then you have like, there's tiers underneath that,
Yeah.
right? And so I was like, oh, has to be like one of those lower tiers, right? Nah, dude, I ran upstairs. I was like, look at this shit. I was showing my wife. Yeah, I was very
Did she have
excited.
any
Awesome.
context for it? She's just like, cool.
That's kind of how it was. I mean,
If I
she
knew that was
it
Sarah,
was
she'd be like, yeah, looks cool.
well, no, because I showed her how much it's worth on my phone,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
showed her that I had the card at the same
That's
time.
exciting.
I was like, "Look at this shit!" Yeah, and yeah, so she was like, so it was a slightly more enthusiastic, cool, but not. She's more just like, you're a fucking nerd. Like that's really what it is.
You and your cardboard crack.
Right. So, but yeah, funny enough, I ordered that box off of TikTok because it's easier to get Japanese cards that way than it is any other way. So
You can
TikTok
order
has
stuff on
shops
TikTok.
yeah,
TikTok
has shops now, and it's like, I'm not gonna lie, like probably 60% of my feed is different shops like ripping packs and shit.
Interesting.
No, it's been like that for a minute because I watch a bunch of different Pokemon TikToks.
Are you the reason that we get TikTok like Pokemon live streams on the OLIP account? Because I don't use my account ever.
I'm not even logged into the OLIP account on my phone, so no.
Okay.
I never use it.
So
I don't use TikTok. That's you, Tim. It's all you.
Yeah, it's all you. No, I honestly I just use TikTok while I'm in the bathroom. That's literally what I use it. It's just kind of scrolling through it. So, but yeah, no, I one of those boxes, which honestly I got the box. So I got the box. It comes with 7-pack. Or no, it comes with 10 packs. And at the time I bought it for $72. Right? And so when I got it, I was like, feels kind of overpriced because you can get a normal English pack for like $5, right? $4.50 to $5.
Yep.
And then I fucking pulled that card and I was like, well, it's worth every fucking penny.
Pays for itself.
Yeah. So, well, and then I got a bunch of other hits that I didn't even realize were hits, right? Because they're different language. But I will say, people have always said that the Japanese cards are made better. They are 100% made better than the
English quality.
Version. Yeah, the quality's way better. Like, it's not even close, dude. It's not even fucking close. So, but I mean, I got a card. I don't know, man. I'm still in shock. Like,
yeah, that's a fucking sweet pull.
I went on eBay and I looked at graded like a PSA 10, which that's not a PSA 10. I think it's like a 7. But if it was a 10, right, those things sell for over $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Ungraded, I saw sold listings for anywhere between $360 and $450.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get into the graded, it's anywhere from like $550 to like $1,100. Like, it's
and I bet that'll
insane.
hold and like raise in value because like all shinies in this set, very unusual set.
Well, yeah, that too, but also weebs like girls, and this is like she's been a chief or not chief, but a chase card in another set.
Which character is it?
Iono, I think is how you say her name. She's the gym leader. She's the video game like streamer from the new Scarlet and Violet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's who it is. Yeah. So like she hits all these different boxes. She's a streamer. It's a girl. Pokemon trainer, like gym leader. Pokemon, like it checks so many boxes, which is why it's more popular than even like a Charizard kind of thing. So, but yeah, I don't know. I was fucking blown away last night. I was like, what in the fuck just happened? So, anyways. That's what I've been up to.
Very nice.
Other than that, the Game Awards happened last week, boys.
They did. They definitely did. I watched it.
Our thoughts? Yeah, I only watched about half of it, honestly. I watched the pre-show stuff, like the half hour that they did before, and then
where they blast off a lot of the nominees.
Yeah. And they get kind of some of like the more minor awards out of the way, kind of like out the gate.
I was talking to Cody about this earlier. The girl that hosts that portion of the show, did any of her jokes land for you at all?
I feel like they must know how just goofy those fucking jokes are.
I sat there the whole time and I was just like, can we just name the awards? Can we stop? Like at a certain point, it's not even. It's just uncomfortable to watch somebody like flop that bad. Like you just want it to end. I don't even know if the audience was laughing. I'm like, okay, we get it. You're quirky. Just go put on your skin snuffleupagus dress. Let's get this out of the way.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. the show doesn't know what it wants to be. Jeff doesn't know what he wants to do with this show, and that was very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think what is this, the third year?
This is the Game Awards is 10
It's
years
been
old.
longer,
This
I
is the
think.
10th Game Awards.
That Jeff's done?
Yes.
No.
Yes. They talked about it times throughout the show.
Sounds like a long time.
Yeah, it does.
Pretty
'Cause
sure
I don't.
It feels like it hasn't been that long.
I feel like it's only been like 3 or 4 years because it coincided with when he like left E3 or something. And then he started Summer Games Fest and then the Game Awards. I thought, but anyways,
Maybe I'm double checking.
Yeah.
Established in 2014. Oh, sorry, it's the 9th.
Yeah, but how long has he been doing it?
I think it's been his baby the whole time.
Yeah, since 2014.
He left E3 forever ago. He has not been part of the E3 show in a very long time. And if you think about it,
he didn't leave E3 until after like 2019 though. So it must have, because then he started Summer Games. Yeah, because I was deployed when a lot of that drama was going on. That's why I know that. But anyways, I was gonna say, my thought was that it was only like his iteration of it was only like 4 years old, so he was still trying to figure out where, like, kind of the sweet spot was. That is, if he's been doing it for 9 years, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, honestly. So,
yeah. The thing is, it's like, is this an award show or is this just a world premiere reel?
Right.
Like, is this Winter Games Fest or is it an awards show? Like Summer Games Fest, I'm there for just announcements.
Right.
And I like announcements at the Game Awards, but it felt out of balance.
Yeah, I agree. And they tried to like kind of play up the joke by having like Chris there and like cracking jokes about how long the people can take to speak. But it quickly became not funny when they just started playing people off like really quickly. Especially the voice actor for the dude from Baldur's Gate. He was in the middle of this heartfelt speech and they just started playing the music and turning up, and it's just like, ooh, you really doing this?
I did really like Christopher Judge's shot at Call of Duty though.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Last year, 8 minutes, I set a record. By the way, that was longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign. I was like, oh, damn, brother.
I loved Chris's whole thing. That was great. It really set a fun tone, and then them playing every person off stage really kind of fucked that tone up.
Yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of people are up in arms about the get people off stage thing. Like wrap it up, which is pretty rude. I won't lie. That is a pretty rude way to put it. But at the same time, I'm like, this show is still like over 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it like, let's say you give all of them a minute, right? And you cut back on some other things. Like, this thing is fucking ungodly. Like, it's super unwieldy the way it is right now. Like, but you don't want to take away some of the awards, right? So it's just like, but at the same time,
we could take away some of the awards.
I mean, you could, but you probably don't want to, because there's probably developers that hang their hats on that, especially like in the indie realm and stuff when they do happen to win them. But at the same time,
but indie game of the year and debut indie game of the year, they didn't even get to present. They didn't even present them with awards. They got the whole flash up on.
It's not. Thing. It's not about that. Now when they're doing Sea of Stars and he's selling it, he can be like one indie game of the year at the game. Like, there's still clout that runs with that. The flip side of that,
the streamers.
Yeah, I do. Streamers, esports, like all that stuff, like I could do without it, but I think we're all boomers. I think we're kind of a minority in that.
I could do without Anthony Mackie yelling "shut up" at the crowd for 5 minutes trying to be funny.
Oh my god, that is so dumb.
I miss it. I didn't make it that far. But I think the flip side of this is that if you have him cut back on like the ads and all that other stuff, right? Then is it generating enough money for him to keep bringing some of these things back? Like, it's a weird dynamic, and I think that's kind of what the problem is that because now you don't have E3, you don't have Gamescom. I believe. I think they're defunct now too.
No,
Like,
Gamescom just happened a couple months ago. Gamescom's still a big thing.
is it okay? Well,
That's
I'm
the
just
German
Gamescom
one?
is massive. That's the German one. Yeah.
yeah okay.
Like that they did it in person this year. It was bigger than ever. Like Gamescom's going strong. You don't
That's
have
good.
E3. It's been replaced with some Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, but it's really I don't know. It really feels like so that's your three beats throughout the year. You have Summer Games Fest, Gamescom, and then this, right? So if
How
you're
about
gonna
Tokyo
announce
Game Show?
something,
Yeah,
is that
Tokyo
really
Game.
big? I don't
That's
know.
pretty.
Like I
Seems
really
big.
don't know.
Seems
Tokyo Game Show is
as big
pretty
as Gamescom, maybe.
Tokyo Game Show is really big for specific companies in particular. It's usually a bigger.
JRPG
I mean,
showcase.
there's that, but also like Nintendo usually has an actual presence. Nintendo hasn't gone to E3 forever, but Nintendo
No,
shows
I
up at
know.
show. Same with Sony. Sony hasn't really participated in E3. They were kind of around with Summer Games Fest this year, but like they do their own thing with their own stuff. But then they show up at Tokyo Game Show. So
Well, I mean, they kind. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's where they're at. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's their
Mhm.
one of their main markets or whatever. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It just for me, it just feels like Summer's Game Fest and then the Game Awards is like the two major hits for me every year, right? I don't like.
Yeah.
I know Gamescom happens, but like I don't feel like a whole lot of like news comes out of it. And I could be horribly wrong on that. I think some news comes out, but it's not like this where it's just like what do we have like fucking 18 games or 20 games or something announced at fucking the Game Awards or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
gonna
just
slightly play devil's advocate here, though.
what's up.
We were talking about how the show is 3 hours long.
Yeah.
I think there were 18 new announcements, and the rest of it was either very short presentations of awards, awkward celebrities on stage talking for way too long for no reason,
Yep.
game trailers for games that have already been announced, or ads for games that we already know are coming, and then like a concert for Alan Wake because that was cool,
baller, dude. I love the musical
cool.
stuff that they do.
Yeah.
It was cool, but also I'm sitting there going like, is this like this is cool, but like also are we just like completely inflating I can't remember his name. The guy that he's the head of that studio.
Oh yeah, like he was on stage and shit.
Yeah, he's on stage dancing and singing with them, and I'm like, are we just
So weird.
playing up to his fantasy at this point? Like, are we really just because he's
Well, no,
always been?
because they did Hellblade last year and everybody fucking loved that, right?
Why can't I think of this dude?
They did a performance for Hellblade this year.
They did a performance.
Elon was
think
on
they-
stage.
Yeah, I know they
It was
did this year, but
badass.
I want to say they did it last year too.
I don't think they did it last year.
I
don't remember. Last year. Why can't Sam?
I mean, his
Sam
name
Lake?
doesn't really matter.
No idea.
Sam
Sam
Lake?
Finish Man.
It's Sam Lake.
Sam-
Yeah, he's
Sam
Hey,
Dancer.
he's super charismatic, but like also, why the hell is he on stage?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
he
I mean,
got played up, he
stuff.
looked annoyed, and I was like, okay, well, you already got your musical buddy, so I'm not
Yeah.
too worried.
yeah. Well, and I heard that Skillup was saying that they were pre-briefed that it was going to be short. So if you won, like, this is your time frame. So I guess I don't know if you're pre-briefed that this is what it's about to be. I don't know why you're expecting more time. I don't know. Like I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know if any of them were necessarily, but from the audience perspective, it's weird
Yeah.
seeing like, here is this award. You won Game of the Year.
yeah.
You get to talk for 30 seconds and you're off. Oh,
Yeah.
Kojima, you and Jordan Peele, just say thank you over and over for like 2 minutes. That's fine.
Or like for or specifically, let's say for Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
that man needs a translator to communicate everything he's trying
Right.
to say in his thank
What
you
did Tears of
speech.
the Kingdom win, anyways? Was it?
It's the best game design, best action adventure, I think.
Best action
Oh.
adventure. They won, I think, 2 awards. They
Yeah.
didn't win as much as Breath of the Wild, but I think that's not their fault. It's just because Baldur's Gate was there. Like, Baldur's Gate,
Yo, yeah, that was a
kinda
huge
crazy.
factor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I also think them coming out in May played against them a little bit. I think that
Yeah.
recency bias plays a lot into that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna change again, just like it changed. What was it? What was the issue last year? There's too many ads. There was like
I
way
think
too
that
many
was a big
ads.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it didn't even feel like a Game Awards show at that point. And but then there's no last. I don't know. There's just been a couple different iterations, right, of this stuff at this point, where um like we know Jeff is gonna change it. Like so that's why I
Yeah.
don't I really just don't get it. I feel like 85% of the people that are watching it anyways, they want to hear who won and they don't care after that. Other than that, they're just there for whatever announcements there are. And
Yeah.
other than that, like, which is
I
shitty,
agree.
right?
It feels like they could have two different shows, right? Just have a show for the awards that people
Yeah.
can watch to listen to the devs and whoever just say
Yeah.
whatever they want. And
Yeah.
then have your reveal show with all
Yeah.
your entertainment and stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it'd be better that way if they did
Yeah,
something like
and
that.
I don't think it's a bad idea to have one show, but it has to be better balanced where the people that want to watch the awards part aren't like overwhelmed with ads, and the people that
Right.
want to watch the world premieres aren't bored to death by the bad jokes from what's her
Dude.
nuts in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
you gotta walk and chew gum if you're gonna have it all in one show. You have to find that right balance. And right now you got gum all over your face because you tripped. Like it's just
Yeah.
it ain't looking real good right now.
Yeah.
So
That's
I,
fair.
I think splitting it isn't a terrible idea. But I think you can do both, but you just have to find that sweet spot. And right now it's a little too far askew. And I think even Jeff realizes that if you look at some of his tweets, particularly when it comes to, he was talking about how he actually actively was telling them, hey, don't play them off so early during it, but it still was happening. Like we
Yeah.
they were still getting the flash, but like I think they were doing it even faster before, and then they kind of took their foot off the gas, but it
Right.
still seemed a little too aggressive. So you got to find that sweet spot. The show's already 3 hours long, like Cody said. You don't want to make it 4.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you got to cut somewhere, but I don't think that cut can all come from the dev time because
No, it's not. It's not
it's
fair.
supposed to be
I
an award.
honestly, now that Justin brings it up, I think splitting it's probably a better idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
Yeah,
I think-
I feel like they could almost just do your summer show, have that be
Yeah.
your reveals, and then awards at the end of the year.
Yeah, but you do get companies that are gonna want to do reveals this time of year.
Yeah.
You know what's
the
funny?
holiday
I'm trying to
season.
remember
Yeah.
off the top of my head any of the things that there were a couple of games that were announced at the Game Awards that I remember going, "Oh, that looks pretty cool." But now, sitting here right now, I can't tell you a single game that was announced at the Game
I
Awards.
I
can.
can.
Other
Yeah.
than the
What you
Kojima
got,
project,
Jeff? What you
which
got,
we already
Justin?
knew was a thing.
Light no fire.
Yes.
Oh, fuck
Yes.
Yes.
Forgot about
Yeah.
I'm
that.
glad you guys
Yeah.
are excited about
I
it.
was actually
Yeah.
super excited about Light No Fire. Okay. And
Yes,
I
dude.
liked even more that Sean Murray, people were like, hey, man, aren't you worried about
overpromise.
overpromising? And he's like, what did he tweet? He tweeted,
Yeah, he said he
didn't see
tweeted
it.
first time the
Oh,
first time
Oh,
meme.
the meme.
Yeah, with the hang first time.
Yeah.
Dude, I love him. He's so
Sean
good.
Murray. I love that he's doubling down.
Yeah.
But
Can we
I
talk
am
about that game a little
worried.
bit?
We
Yeah.
can. I'm worried that he said that it's more ambitious than No Man's Sky. I was like, brother, No Man's Sky was a procedurally generated universe where I remember in 2013 watching the E3 trailer going, that's a fucking dinosaur and he flew to that planet. This
Yeah.
is more ambitious.
Yeah. Well, I think
That sounds crazy.
he's taking. I do want to point out one thing. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when they took off on the dragon, that's the same exact fucking animation as taking off in No Man's Sky. It's one for one. The only difference is the wings flap. Other
I'm
than that,
100% good with that. That's like, you know
I'm
what that
cool with
reminds-
it too, but it was just funny to me watching it.
Mhm.
the fact that you said that though, it does remind me because somebody's going to point that out on Twitter at some
Yeah,
point and be an idiot.
yeah.
And it's going to remind me of when people are like, Hey, God of War Ragnarok, they're reusing the boat animation. What the
Right?
Why can't you make a new animation for the boat? I'm like, why
Make
would
it
you
from
make
scratch.
why would you make a new animation for the
Lazy.
boat? They're working in the same engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway.
So yeah, looking at this game, right, it looks like it's going to take everything they learned from No Man's Sky and just apply it to a single gigantic planet that everyone is playing on together.
Yep.
But fantasy, which sounds fucking great.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I really am.
When he said, most games, it's not really to scale. This is like actually Earth scale. So you are actually the size of a person on Earth. I'm like, okay.
Sounds wicked.
It sounds like Skyrim on crack is what it sounds like.
No Man's Skyrim. I've seen that thrown around.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that I really like to see, because there's something like
if Bethesda's going to make No Man's Sky, then I guess no Hello Games can make Skyrim. Let's go.
Well,
yep.
I really liked seeing that there's an underwater swimming component, because that adds so much potential to like things you can find.
Building in No Man's Sky?
Very little.
Not really, but I've seen it. I think it's cool. And so if they build on that,
Logan do it.
He's like, I watched my kid do it. That's funny. Yeah, but yeah, no, it looks like people say Skyrim, but I think my connection would probably be like a better iteration of Valheim. Right? Yeah. Is what you're hoping for, right? You want to see that leap, because Valheim is kind of procedurally generated, right? Like it's biomes and stuff, but like everybody's world seed is different, kind of thing. We can all play together and that kind of thing. If it's that, but like just really, really dense, and like there's a lot of content all over the place, like then that'll be.
I think you're thinking about how they're doing procedural generation wrong, because there's two ways to do it. There's the way that Valheim does it, where it procedurally is generating the map or Minecraft. We'll go with Minecraft because that's the traditional example, right? It's based off your seed, and it makes the world kind of as you go.
Right.
And then there's the Bethesda Game Studios method, where you're using procedural generation to create a landscape, and then you're plopping it down in someone's world. It sounds like they are using procedural generation to create a whole ass planet. You're not going to get a different planet than I do. It's all one big ass planet that everyone's going to have the same map, and everyone's going to be playing on basically one big ass server, which is crazy.
Oh,
I hope they can pull that off, man. I hope that's what they're going for.
So is this supposed to be an MMO?
Kind of.
In the same way that No Man's Sky is kind of an MMO.
So like you can have multiple people. Like I that's the vibe I'm getting from what he was saying.
Okay,
well, I could be wrong until we have more details from them. This is all just guesswork. But the way he was talking about, we are creating Earth-sized planet, and we are creating all of this. Like it sounds like they're using procedural generation to create different biomes and different environments that they are placing on this world that you're going to get to play on as a giant ass playground.
I don't like that as much. I really don't. Because you know what that reminds me of? Rust. I feel like it's gonna go
Rust,
like
it's not that big.
It's not about it being that big. It's like I'm building a structure and then I come back and it's fucking gone. Right? Like that's not something I've ever been a fan of.
I think,
you know what I mean? So like we'll see, right? We don't know. But like that is not. I'm not here for that. I would much rather it be like we can all create a world together, and you can have as many people come in as you want. But I'm not trying to be playing with a bunch of randos all the time either. Like that's like we barely find time to play together. You think I want to play with a bunch of fucking random people? You know what I mean? Like.
I get that, yeah.
There are a couple of ways to look at that, though. You can have the same map and have the same stuff and still have a single player mode. That's what they do in No Man's Sky. In No Man's Sky, you hop in, you can play online with however fucking many people are playing No Man's Sky in that giant ass universe and never see another goddamn soul, but you can play online or you can play offline.
I just think I think it'll be a lot easier to meet people in a game like Light No Fire than it is No Man's Sky, just because No Man's Sky is even bigger than this, like by a lot.
It is and it's not though, because if you actually put it to scale, if you think about how big you are on a planet on No Man's Sky, you're bigger
Dude,
than a normal person.
there's like quintillion amount of planets in No Man's Skies. Like I don't care about to scale at that point. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's too much. There's just too much there that I just feel like in general, right? It's more of like trying to find a needle in a haystack in No Man's Sky while you're all in the haystack together in this one, right? There's not all these separate haystacks. So
but what I'm saying is No Man's Sky has a way to play that offline already.
no, it does. It does.
And another decent example, if they do go multi-servers instead of one server, which I think is a more reasonable approach, but the way that he was talking on stage gave me the impression that it's one server. I guess they haven't officially said that. That's just kind of what was.
That also reminds me of
how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eve, if that's what they're rolling for.
Where I was going with that is Fallout 76 has a way to do that on multi-server where well, I know Fallout 76 does a lot of things wrong, but this is actually something that you do right.
I started to shake my head and I felt bad. Sorry.
Your Rust analogy actually, like, there's already a system out there that combats that, and that's Fallout 76. When you're offline, what you built isn't there. When you load in, your stuff is there. The only time where it sucks is if somebody's already built in that. Yeah. But that rarely ever happens on the size of the map on 76. It's happened to me one time where my camp didn't load in, and it's like, oh, you can set it down somewhere else, and it'll kind of balance itself out. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Right.
Or I could choose to just wait till the next hour. I got to hop over to another server. So there are ways to combat that Rust problem.
Yeah, I just hope that they don't go that direction. Like that's what I'm worried about. I don't necessarily mind one server multiplayer or whatever because like I like Eve, right? And they have ways to combat like if you don't want to be in that on like crazy PvP, like you say in high sec, right? That's just what it is. That's just what you do. You go to low sec kind of thing, get ready to get your shit wrecked. You know what I mean? That's just like what it is. So there were if there's something like that in place, then maybe. You know, then I can take calculated risks. But if it's just fucking lawless nonsense, I'm not gonna enjoy that game probably.
In No Man's Sky, how does it work?
I'm not sure because I've never played that far. They must have a system in place, but I'm not sure.
I've never had any PvP in No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've
barely ever seen other players. I have seen other players at like some space ports and stuff, but like I've never ever done any PvP. So I don't know.
One thing that I would love to see in Light No Fire that they could take from No Man's Sky is do you remember how in No Man's Sky there's like the language that you have to like slowly learn?
Yeah,
like you
I
learn
think that's
words.
in this. If you look at the video, they have like an obelisk thing. It's like
the big
right
like golem, and it's got that symbol.
Well, if you, I actually have it up right now where it says a procedural Earth. The dude is standing in front of one of those stones. Exactly what it looks a lot like that. Like I'm rewatching it as we're talking about it. It looks a lot like that, and I'm assuming that's what that is. So,
I thought that was really fun, and I think that would be cool if there were like you see there are different species that you can play as in this game, just like in the other one. Yeah. What if they all had different languages and you had to like learn them to communicate?
That would
as
be
players?
Cool, but it would also be difficult. It'd be very. You'd have to. It requires a lot of buy-in.
Like if I don't know your language and I meet you in game and we're not like friends or something, if I type to you, all of a sudden it's just gibberish on the person's screen.
Yeah, that's what in Star Wars Galaxies. They had different languages, and players could teach you languages.
Yeah, WoW did that too, or whatever. If you were Alliance trying to talk to Horde, you couldn't do it.
Funny!
It shows up as gibberish or whatever. I don't know if it still does that, but they did it. They did it back in the day. So
I don't know how you would do that with voice chat. I wonder if that's even going to be a thing.
If it's even going to have it,
yeah.
I don't think No Man's Sky does, right?
Like VoIP. Like in-game VoIP? I don't think so. No. But yeah, no, I mean, look, I am excited about this game. I would like to see like a new iteration on Valheim. That's really what I want out of it. And if they can hit 80% of that, I will probably play the living shit out of it, and I'll probably build a wall somewhere
And
unrealistically,
Tim
like
will
I did.
build a big old canal.
I don't want to
Yeah.
dig your canal for you again.
I've been playing Valheim
Been
again.
wasting
I just started
time
the
on
server
that.
back up.
Yeah, you've said that. I haven't.
Yeah,
I've played like maybe an hour a night. Like I just haven't been playing games all that much lately in general, other
Mhm.
than diving back into Medieval Dynasty. But hold on a second. Oh, my wife loves me. Holy shit.
Aw.
Anyways, yeah. So, but yeah, I want to be a rabbit. Oh, that's what I
Yeah,
want to
the
be.
rabbits look cool.
They look dope. Well, they remind me of Overgrowth. Just
I'm
I know
late.
we've talked
I'm
about
late.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
You'd be throwing daggers at people.
Tim with the fucking Alice in Wonderland reference. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, no. Yeah. No, I will. I'll run around with a pocket watch and fucking don't they doesn't he have a fucking monocle too? I almost said eyeglass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, before we get out of here though, do we want to talk about the biggest scam that's ever happened in gaming or what?
I think we do, since we titled it after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You know what? I also fucked up the title. I instead of putting the day before is not fantastic, I put is fantastic. I forgot.
That's fucking
That's funny.
You know what? It's worked. We've gotten 8 views, and we had like 3 people in here at one point, which is very unusual for us. So
goddamn
whatever
clickbaity.
works. So, but yeah.
So yeah, this was that game that looked really good.
Looked like the
kind of
Division
a
on crack.
zombie thing going on.
Yeah.
They released a really beautiful video of it that we were all pretty excited about.
No.
I thought it looked cool. So
I thought it was fake.
oh, somebody's hit me in the chat now. Misleading title. I was looking for a positive review. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Panda Crusher. We don't have a positive review for the day before.
For a game that unlaunched itself 4 days after it launched, you were looking for a positive review. I am sorry about your life choices. I don't
continue your search.
Yeah, I mean, has IGN ever given out a 1 before?
Probably not.
I feel like they don't.
I don't think they ever have.
A billion tens.
I feel like we're missing a digit here, boys.
Yeah. I was really surprised to see that they gave it a 1. I'm surprised they reviewed it at all, honestly, especially after the place folded.
Yeah, how crazy is that? Didn't they also like within Steam's like stuff? They changed their like company handle.
Allegedly,
without saying anything about it.
Allegedly, they have started a new company on Steam.
Yeah.
But if you look at the day before on Steam and Prop Hunt, which is their other title that was published under their current name, because they've had other names before. The Wild 8, which was actually a promising game when it launched. I didn't know. Same devs, also abandoned shortly after it launched.
They've abandoned all their games.
Yeah. So now Prop Hunt. Well, Prop Hunt they supported for
there
20 years. I feel like.
Kind of like I don't think they did like bug fixes and shit. They just left the servers up, from what I understand. So if we want to call that support, we can, but I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of. I remember watching a breakdown of why somebody put together like a very well thought out YouTube video, and there's another game that they made before the Wild 8 that they basically like did the same thing that they just did with the day before, and just kind of like put it out there, and then like a couple weeks later we're like, nah, we're gonna move on, kind of thing. And they've continuously done this a few different times.
This time the way that they fucked up was they got everyone's attention.
Yep.
The first few times they launched smaller titles that were like some people played, and some people were like, "Oh, this could be good," but it's not. And this time they launched. They promised you The Last of Us plus The Division. They gave you a worse version of DayZ plus Tarkov.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. I watched some
Yeah.
gameplay. That's how I describe it.
Yeah, in fact, DayZ saw so many similarities that after the day before shut down, DayZ ran a sale it was called the day after sale.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
I did see that. Didn't they run a bundle? Wasn't it a bundle? DayZ was something else.
Oh my god, dude.
I thought it was
That's
a bundle of the
perfect.
DayZ maps, but
Oh, maybe it is. Yeah.
either way, it
Yeah.
was
No.
but also
Honestly, that's great marketing.
That is really good.
I help me remember. Didn't the day before debut at the Game Awards 2 years ago?
It debuted during. I don't think it was a Game Awards. I think they have shown.
I thought it was the same
show.
stream that we reacted to Space Marine when it was first announced.
I don't think it was that one. I think it because we also streamed Summer Games Fest that year.
Oh yeah,
I think it was Games Fest.
Either way,
and we streamed QuakeCon and we streamed the Game Awards.
It really made me wonder about what is the vetting process for these games, and like how do they get like in that? Oh, I have a dog. He is now part of the stream. But
it's a bundle with Icarus. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, just how do they get like money is obviously would normally be the obvious answer, but for some of these like indie companies and stuff, like there's no way that they have all that money to just
it's the hype factor. So like if people forget, Jeff Keighley was gonna have the developer for Abandoned on stage at one point. I don't remember if it was a Summer Games Fest thing or
what the fuck happened to that game? I don't even remember. Was it
Abandoned? You want me to make the joke?
Was it Abandoned?
Allegedly he's still working on it, but I haven't heard anything about it since that whole thing blew up in his face.
Okay.
It's another example of he used to do the same thing, by the way. He has another series of games that he would launch and then abandon, pun intended. So he does the same thing as FNtastic. Yeah. So that's interesting. But like, yeah, well, I think what's happened with both Abandon and this is they get caught up in the hype train where it's not just your own small player base or groups of people that are excited about your game. Fucking the day before was the most wish listed game on Steam.
Yeah, but it wasn't the most wish listed game on Steam until after it debuted, and it debuted at a major event.
Well, yeah, no, that I'm agreeing with you, but like that's the thing is like there was already some hype behind it. They showed whoever, like IGN had that trailer come out around the same time or before that even, I think. The original thing that I remember seeing for the day before was they remade, and it's ironic that over time they got caught using same stuff other. But like the first one, I'm like, this is almost the same as the first Division gameplay trailer.
Yeah, before the Division,
everybody thought, because that was, the Dark Zone was what they showed. Everybody thought that was the whole game for the Division, and that interaction that they showed at IGN with players talking in VoIP and like clearly scripted dialogue and all this shit, and all of a sudden the bad guy players are like saying shit you'd hear an NPC say, because that's how you when you're playing a fucking video game. Any hoozles, they showed that, and that looked really good, but also be fake. But somebody at IGN at the time was like, "Oh, this is great," and then they published that blew up. Then they wound up on stage somewhere, or not on stage, but on I don't know if it was Summer Game Fest or the Game Awards. I don't remember. It's so long ago now. And then the biggest thing I remember about this whole fiasco with the day before, other than unlaunching, other than the most refunded game in the history of Steam, other than all of these, I see your dog so happy, other than all these other, we're going to call them quote unquote accolades. It's ironic. We're in award season. We're calling them accolades. But it's the whole, when they're trying to get developers to volunteer to work on
that fucking shit was crazy.
That's a bad look. Oh my god.
I'm sitting here like you have a publisher, you keep saying all this shit, you keep showing all of this marketing stuff that you're clearly putting a lot of money into, and you're asking people to work on your game for free.
Yeah, so I was wondering about that. I don't know if an NDA would literally stop me from not blowing the whistle on that fucking game. Like, that's the only thing I could think of that would keep somebody from not, if they were actively helping out with that game and like seeing the state it was in and being like, what in the fuck? This is nothing like the trailers. Like, I can't believe that nothing came out.
Discord, like right before it launched, said, "Guys, the game isn't real. The game is awful. This is not what."
Right.
Like one of their mods in their Discord got banned.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I just it should, I don't know. It was crazy to me. Justin, did you have any further thoughts other than it's crazy?
I like that Jeff tries to showcase just stuff that it seems like he thinks would be interesting to reveal. Like there's that dude who did the voice actor from one of the Assassin's Creed games, and he's like, "Hey, I made this game. Jeff, let me show it to you guys, so check it out."
Yeah.
I think stuff like that is pretty cool. They're not always going to be hits. We get some misses, like with this game, but it's cool to see that.
Yeah, no, that's a good thought. I also feel like there's a little bit of a difference of a miss and then like a scam. You know?
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I feel like there's I'm hoping
that was an unfortunate one to have showcased.
Right. I'm hoping that maybe they'll relook at the vetting process a little bit, and because I think Jeff does have a good eye for this stuff. Like, not saying anything against him, but maybe they'll just look a little bit more in depth and be like, "Oh, can you be once you're a little bit further along, we're cool with showing that," like something like that.
Yeah,
instead of
because it really does give it a big profile and almost like authenticity to be on the show.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you get on Game Awards, man, like there's no bigger.
That's legit.
Yeah, there's no bigger stage, really. So
it goes to not to circle back to another presumably dead game, but it goes back to the whole Hassan Karaman thing with Abandoned, where he was like gonna talk to him at, I think it was Summer Game Awards. He was gonna show something. I don't remember if Summer Game Fest or Game Awards. Hassan was gonna show something at one of Jeff's events and then backed out at the last minute, and nobody knew what was going on. And there was all that. That was right when it was like peak. Oh, is this actually Kojima? Thing was going on the whole time.
Yeah.
So like I don't disagree that Jeff generally has a pretty good eye for some of this stuff, and I loved that showcase for that dev or the game, the guy's first game, like being shown at the Game Awards. That was so freaking cool, and that looked really good. I was really like happy to see that.
Right.
But we've also had now. He almost had Hassan on stage on what is at this point looks like it's potentially could have been one of the biggest scams in gaming history that is just dead now, which is weird. And also this. Now, you can't vet everyone at every company, and if somebody comes to you and they're like, yeah, this is a gameplay trailer we have, all you can really do is watch it. So I guess, yeah, sure. And a lot of what FNtastic showed was gameplay. But I don't know, it's kind of wild to me.
Yeah,
I hear that. Is there any single moment that you guys really liked from the Game Awards this year? Like, if you could pick one thing that you're like, yes, that was great.
Dunking on Call of Duty. How is that not the best moment of the show? And it was in the first like 5 minutes of when the show actually started. Like I don't know. That's what it was for me, because didn't the Call of Duty devs or somebody get like up, like kind of butthurt about it? Somebody got butthurt about it.
They were like, oh, in all of our metrics that matter, we outsell God of War. I'm like, cool, man. Call of Duty, you sell more copies than God of War, but on quality, don't try and compare yourself, please.
Right,
please.
Right. Well, I mean, they lost the quality war a long time ago.
A very long time ago. Like, we get it. Call of Duty, people like FPSs. Okay, cool, man. Yeah. But like, that doesn't mean your game's better. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, for me, it and it's funny because I was like, I can't think of a single thing. Well, no, Light No Fire. That was
dude,
absolutely my favorite. Sean being up on stage and talking about it. It was, I love how full circle the Hello Games story has come from super hyped at a E3 event, PlayStation sponsoring the game, to the game launches and what the hell is this, to years and years and years of free content updates to a game that just kept selling because of how much dedication his team put into it. You know, we're in the year of fucking layoffs in video games, and Hello Games isn't just not laying people off. They're still giving new content to No Man's Sky. And they just announced what is perhaps one of the more ambitious projects in the history of video games. Something that's more ambitious than a procedurally generated universe, according to the guy making it. I have to really like look at that and just go, that is probably one of my favorite moments ever in any of these events that I've ever seen. And the Twitter response the next day of first time, like,
dude, Sean Murray has the biggest fucking balls in the industry.
But I will say, the potential for that to blow up if this game launches anything like No Man's Sky, if it is an ocean wide but a puddle deep, again, we're gonna have a problem. So
do not buy day one.
Yeah, will we though? Because then you at least know that if you buy day one and it's not where you want it to be, just wait. It will get there. Like they have the track record that even if it's not, they'll just be like, well, we'll like it's not where it needs to be. It'll get there. And
they're like a really small dev team, aren't they?
13 people.
Yeah, they're not a
That's
big team.
wild.
They have more than 13 now, I think.
The original team was 13.
I heard a number similar to that.
Yeah.
The original
12, 13.
The original studio I think was 13, but I think they've hired. I'm not claiming it's a big team in the hundreds, but I think they're upwards of 30.
Some more. Yeah.
But my where did my brain just go? 26. Okay.
As of 2020, so it might be a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I just totally derailed my own brain.
It's okay. I'll use my brain. The thing that I thought was really cool, the Sega announcement. Hey, you remember all our amazing IPs from years ago that we've neglected forever? We're bringing them back. New Jet Set. New Golden Axe. New Crazy Taxi. New Shinobi. Holy shit. And who knows what else? Maybe we get new Skies of Arcadia, new Phantasy Star. The possibilities are endless.
Where the hell's my Shining Force?
Yo, I'm saying, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
JRPGs are probably more popular than ever right now.
That's true.
Where the fuck is Shining Force? We haven't had a Shining Force game since the GBA re-release of the original games. So, like, please, Sega.
I
played that for the first time on the Nintendo Switch, like, emulator thing. What a cool fucking game, dude.
Shining Force, it's like there, and it's funny because I played it in probably high school, I think, like on my Sega though.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me in many ways, the battle system actually reminds me of Wesnoff.
Yes.
So like I love it so much. It's so good. Anyway.
Something we didn't talk about that I just want to point out real quick, that I'm surprised Justin didn't bring up.
Hellblade?
Lego.
Oh.
Yeah,
Lego Fortnite.
I forgot. I could have mentioned that for what I've been playing too.
Dude,
We have Minecraft in Fortnite now.
Yeah, 2.3 million concurrent players. Like that's
Lego Fortnite is cool, but
game?
they also have a rhythm game that I rigged up my Guitar Hero controller to play.
In Fortnite?
Yep.
That's amazing.
What the fuck?
Well, you can get
I didn't even know about that.
You can get a PlayStation.
You guys saw the Mario Kart game, right? You see the Rocket League Mario Kart in there?
Yeah.
In Fortnite?
Fortnite is a platform now.
There's literally like the Rocket League devs ported their cars into Fortnite and have made a race.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
So I did try all of these new modes, and the one thing that I think is a really huge takeaway that cements Epic as the best company in live service games, playing any of these modes, you're still progressing your Fortnite Battle Pass.
Oh, that is nice. That is
my question is, because you were saying 2.3 million concurrent players.
Yeah.
like for Lego
For
specifically?
Lego specifically.
How can we track that if it's all through the Fortnite launcher though?
Well,
They
it's all
track
have
it.
We
in
can't.
Fortnite, and then the different game modes within that.
Yeah.
And it just shows how many people are playing each of them.
Yeah.
Just like
Also,
playlists in Halo.
That's crazy.
I think the better analogy would be Fortnite is now Roblox.
Yeah.
That's basically
People
what they've
make
turned it
games in
into.
Fortnite. Yeah.
Yeah,
They just released that crazy new editor recently, so people are doing wild
I
stuff.
dabbled in that a little bit. So it's a good time.
I wanted to try and use it to make a turn-based game in Fortnite engine.
Ooh,
because it's just a version of Unreal. Like that's all it really is. A lot of the stuff that I've tried to work with Unreal before was there.
Oh.
And I just don't have the time to sit down and learn all of the things I need to learn.
Yeah.
I have an idea for a strategy game that I really want to make though.
Don't think so big. Just think small. Make something tiny.
Yeah, chess. I want to make like a version of chess but cooler.
Chess tactics.
We'll just start with making chess and then
you
go from there.
You ever play Warhammer 40k Regicide?
Yeah.
I have an idea that's kind of like that.
Yeah. So, anyways, I did.
One other thing about Fortnite that I just wanted to say, it was so cool loading up Fortnite, and I've got my Boba Fett character sitting there on the screen, and then I switch over to Lego mode, turns into a fucking minifig of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
very satisfying.
I did jump into it. I had some performance issues with it, like I couldn't dial it in right. Because when I did like the automatic thing, it like turned everything up.
Bad.
It was like epic, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I should be able to run this, right? And then I would get frame drops a lot, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it took me a while of tinkering to get it stable.
Yeah. So I just figured we'd give it a little while, and then we should all jump into it at some point.
Yeah, it's fun.
It could also have been there's just so many fucking people playing it that the servers were having some problems too. Like I don't fucking know, but it looks like a ton of fun. Like it really does. So, but yeah. On that, anybody else got any closing thoughts?
Oh yeah.
What you got?
We got to finally see some more Hellblade. We've
did.
got the release window. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, we got to see some combat.
Yep.
Not gonna lie, combat looks kind of jank, but that's not,
dude.
It's not what the game's about.
It was in the first game.
Yeah, so I'm not really mad about that, but I'm just glad that they showed it.
Do you remember when I was like completely shitting on the combat system for the Callisto Protocol? How awkward and funky it was?
Yeah.
Hellblade's combat system is just slightly better than that. It's like actually usable, but it's in a lot of ways it's actually kind of similar. And I had that realization playing Callisto Protocol. I was like, this is a worse version of Hellblade's combat. That's really what this is. Like the awkward left to right dodging and stuff that you have to do. Because and what made it more awkward was in Callisto, it's all on the stick. There's no anything else. Horrible. Anyway.
Yeah. What's your closing thought, Tim?
I don't know, man. Play more games. Play more old games. Sega, give us more new games. New old games.
They're on it.
God, yeah.
My closing thought is Cardboard Crack is fun, but it's expensive. So I'm happy that it panned out for me this time because I try not to splurge that often, but every once in a while if I see a nice little deal, I go get it. And it really worked out in my favor this time, baby.
Oh man.
Oh Jesus. Anyways, that's my closing thought. So anyways, we'll be back next week. Wednesday, 10 Central ish. You know, depending on what time we all get on. But anyways, right around that time. And other than that, we love you and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye everybody.